Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Marjorie, and if you're not new here, well, my name is still Marjorie. And this is Marjorie Made, a channel mostly about cross stitch, sometimes other things. Today, we're going full cross stitch, baby. It's gonna be my end of year 2024 WIP parade. Today is the 3rd, my bad, of January. So I wanted to wait until the end of the year so I could give y'all the full progress, the full stats, everything. So buckle up. I have some lovely coffee to enjoy this morning. Grab a drink, grab some stitching, and buckle up, baby, because we're going over 44 projects today. So if you love cross stitch, you love looking at other people's cross stitch, stay tuned. So briefly, I would like to give a little bit of an introduction to myself. I know WIP parades bring in a lot of new faces. So I'm Marjorie, as I've said. I'm 28 years old. I live in Northwest Arkansas. I work a lot, but in all my spare time, I love to craft. I cross stitch, I knit, I can crochet, even though knitting's kind of taken over the yarn aspect of my life. I also sew, so you know, just a little bit of everything. But like I said, today we're just going to go over all of my cross stitch WIPs. I also love to read, if you can see my bookshelves here. So yeah, if there's anything you want to know more about me, just ask me in the comments. I also am on Instagram at Marjorie Made Stitches. So feel free to DM me, follow me over there, ask me any questions. If you have any questions about any of the WIPs I show today, just leave me a comment or DM me, or, you know, I'm pretty friendly, I like to think. So reach out if you have any questions, or, you know, you're just curious and you want to know more. So the first 3 projects I'm going to show y'all are ones that don't count in my WIP list. I have 41 WIPs plus these 3 projects. I don't count them in my WIP list because 2 of them are full coverage. Full coverage for me is a completely different hobby. It is still needle art, but it's just completely different for me. So these aren't counted in my WIP count, but they're obviously still WIPs, so I'm going to show you. And then my 3rd project is a tail end project. So I first heard about tail end projects from Michelle at Bendy Stitchy. And essentially you know, as you're working on your WIPs, if you have a length of floss that is, you know, not long enough to put back on the floss drop or the bobbin, but you also don't want to waste it and throw it away. So essentially you take those little tail ends and you put them in a project. It's very scrappy. It looks really, really cool. So instead of doing something normal and, you know, like rational, I decided that Pandemic by Long Dog was going to be my tail end project. So probably the project to commemorate all projects. I'll be working on this for years and years and years to come. And I don't count it on my WIPs just because it's not something I could just pick up and finish. I mean, obviously, but even if the size wasn't a factor, I wouldn't be able to just pick it up and finish it because I am going off of the tail end flosses of my other projects. So I have a couple of thread beds, and so I just, as I'm working on a project, if I have an extra tail, I'll pop that sucker right into that thread bed. And then when I have, you know, a spare moment, a couple times a week, I'll pick up Pandemic and put those flosses in. So since I've been talking so much about that, that'll be the first one I show y'all today. And I started this year. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross, I believe on 28 count Lugana. So I just have a little bit of a corner done. But as you can see, there's so many different colors in here. I'm just, you know, taking the flosses from other projects and popping them in here, stitching as much as I can, and then picking up a new one. So it doesn't look like much now, but it is very gorgeous. And I know that the more I get done, the cooler it's going to be. And I did, like I said, I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on 28 count Lugana because this project is ginormous, and I felt like this was going to be a good size fabric, even though it's, you know, huge. And this lives in a project bag I was gifted at StitchCon by Natasha at Britches Get Stitches. It's this beautiful pink project bag. So that's where she lives. So my first full coverage I will show y'all is at the easel. This is charted by Artisy. This is technically my oldest WIP, but like I said, I don't really count it that way just because I know it's going to take a while to finish. I am 28.1%, which means I've done 18,540 stitches on this puppy. So here she is. I did reach the bottom. I do believe this, or even maybe the next square, is the bottom. So it's not a huge full coverage. It has 66,000 stitches, which yes is a lot, but for full coverage it's not too bad. It's absolutely gorgeous though. I remember when I first started this just being completely obsessed with it. And I cranked out like 12,000 stitches in like 2 or 3 months. It was it was a little crazy. I did fall off my full coverage wagon this year. I was just really focused on all the other projects, but I do want to get into my full coverage again in 2025. That's a big goal of mine. At least getting her to 50%, at least. So there's at the easel. I was doing Royal Rose, but now I think I'm transitioning into diagonal. But obviously I went down and did this chunk down here. I just wanted to get to the bottom. So I'm kind of all over the place. There's a lot of parched threads left over from doing the Royal Rose method. So I think my goal now is just to, like I said, transition it into diagonal stitching and get some of these flosses under control and worked in. So. And I started at the easel November 28th of 2022. I do have my Notion pulled up over to the side here, so if I'm looking off a lot, it's because I can't remember these things off the top of my head. So yeah, I started that November 28th, 2022. 28 count easy grid even weave. I'm doing that 2/1 tint stitch, so that's a half stitch rather than full cross. 18,540 stitches at 28.1%. So my next and final full coverage to show y'all today is Bellamy. This I purchased from the sewing shop. I started this March 1st of 2023. Yeah, had to check, 2023, with my friend Hannah for #RipMyWhips sale. Hannah is a big full coverage stitcher. She's so inspiring to me, and I wanted to start a project with her. So this is Bellamy. I'm stitching it on 28 count easy grid even weave, 2/1 tint stitch, similar to at the easel. That's my preferred method for full coverage, 2/1 tint. This one I have 6,500 stitches out of 152,600. So she is double the size, a little bit more double the size than at the easel. I'm 4.3%, so not too far. Here I am with this. So again, I was doing Royal Rose. Now I've kind of just gone rogue. There's like a flower right here. I mean, there's a lot of background in this, so I've kind of just been working around this flower, filling in this stem, and then working on filling in some of this background. So again, I'm kind of going off-road with this, but the colors in this are stunning. I'm really excited to get further into this next year. I don't have a goal set necessarily. I know that with at the easel I want to get to 50%, but this one I just want to work on it, maybe get a page finish or two, at least put, I don't know, let's say 5,000 stitches in her next year. Whether I'll do that, up for debate. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the regular WIPs. Like I said, I have 41 is what I'm bringing into 2025. It's a number I feel pretty good about. However, next year I really want to focus on getting a lot of progress on some WIPs, getting a lot of finishes, and just kind of getting my older projects done with. I love them so much and I would love to see them on my wall. Join my little gallery wall up here of finishes. So I think as I go through my WIPs, I'm going to put them in 3 piles. There's going to be finish in 2025, There's going to be work on like priority in 2025 to get some progress. And then I'm going to have a pause pile. So these are projects that I may not touch in 2025 for the sake of getting those first two categories worked on, getting progress in those, getting them really far. I am someone who loves to work on all of my projects. However, that has not lent well to me getting a lot of progress on some of the bigger ones. So I do want to get chunks done out of my bigger projects. And to do that, I'm gonna put some to the side for next year and not be sad about it. All right, first up, I have Winged Dreams. This is by Barbara Anna. I started this November 30th of 2022. It's on 32 count Ancient Ruin Ada by Fox and Rabbit. I am 30.6% done with 1,487 stitches done. I will be posting pictures of the finished project as well as where I started the year at. So I took pictures last year for a digital WIP parade on Instagram. So I will be using those photos. So this is where it started at the beginning of the year. And this is where it is now. I will say I have hanging threads on several projects, which I didn't know until I was ironing them. So I might need to take care of that before I put some of these away. So this is one that I am going to try and finish either in January or February. I love it so much and there's no reason it should still be on my WIP list after 2 years. So this is like going to be my first finish of the year. I want to whip her out pretty quickly. Love her so much. Like I said, 30.6%, 4,800 stitches total. I've got about 1,400. So that is Winged Dreams by Barbara Anna. And this is going in the Finish in 2025 pile. Next up, I have Christmas Cat by Satsuma Street. I started this December 2nd of 2022. It is on 14 count Red Ada by Zweigart. And I am 17.1%. I have 1,424 stitches done. This is definitely going to be a priority for this year. I don't know if I'm going to finish it just because I do still have a lot left on it. I've probably, what's the math on that? Like 6,000 or 7,000 left. Yeah, don't think I'll finish this, but it will go in my work on in 2025 pile. I'm a seasonal stitcher, so I tend to only want to work on projects, you know, when they're in season. So Christmas projects for me don't get done quickly, but I'm trying to whip down my Christmas projects so that I can have like one that I focus on every year and then hopefully only carry over 1 or 2 Christmas whips from year to year. Next up, I have Floral Motif Sampler. This was started December 3rd, 2022, which is my birthday. So it was my first ever birthday start. I did start stitching in like August of 2022. So these are projects from when I first started stitching. This is done on 36 count ballet slipper with the called for threads. I'm 16.2% done with this project. I have 2,764 stitches done. And this is going in the Finish in 2025 pile. I know that is going to be a hefty feat, but Julian Stitches does Motif a week. And I think I'm going to try and keep up with that this year and get this puppy done. I worked on her a good chunk this year, and I had so much fun doing these little floral motifs. And I mean, it's gorgeous. This was the first project I kitted up fully myself at my LNS with all the fancy floss. And I just love her. I think she's so beautiful. And I can't wait to have her up on my wall. Putting her in the Finish in 2025 pile. Next up is one of my favorite whips of all time. This was my 2023 New Year, New Start. This is the Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. I started this January 1st, 2023. This is done on, it just says Natural Silver Belfast on the tag for my LNS. It's a natural fabric with like a little bit of sparkle in it. It's not opalescent. There's like actual pieces of like glitter. I don't know how to explain it. It's very pretty though. I am 38.9% done with her now. Let me see if I can get all of it in camera. I've done 18,458 stitches. And she is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I am very intimidated by her. Just her sheer size. But God, it is such a stunning project. Do I have a hanging thread? Oh my God. Yeah, I was working on this here recently, so yeah, I really don't have anything else to say. I'm using 2 colors of DMC for this. I just could look at this all day. Obviously, this is not going to be a finish in 2025, but I am leaving her in my work on in 2025 pile just because I just love her so much. I do think she's going to be a 2026 finish. So I need to buckle up and, you know, get at least to 50% this year. That's still going to be a push, but I think getting her to 15% or 50% would be great. It's almost like I love it so much I don't want it to be done, and I think that's why I don't work on it. I enjoy working on it so much. It's one of those stitches that is challenging but rewarding, but it's gonna look so good on my wall. I think I'm gonna start saving now for professional framing because I don't think I'll be able to frame this puppy myself. This is the full fabric. It's 32 count. I was a very new stitcher when I decided I was gonna start this, so I picked a 32 count just because that's what I was comfortable with at the time, but she's gonna be a biggin. She's gonna be a biggin. I anticipate it being the focal point of my living room at some point, so I don't mind that it's like a bed sheet. Next up is Flower Power by Ink Circles. I started this June 12th, 2023. It is done on 16 count chalkboard black Aida, and I am 30.8% done. I started this in June for Pride Month. And I did my own color conversion. So these are the colors of the lesbian flag. And, which I say this every time I pull this out, like we slayed with our pride colors because this is like my favorite color scheme in general. So, love it so much. So this is a mandala pattern. So like I said, I'm 30.8% done. So this is 25%. And so I just have to do the same thing 3 more times and she'll be done. I am putting this in my finish in 2025 pile because I would like to have this done at some point this year. I don't know if it will be in June, but yeah, I hope to get that done. It's stunning and gorgeous, and I'm very proud of that color conversion. I think it was one of the first ones that I did. Next up, I have a Rolodex Morning Sampler. This is by Bendy Stitchy. I started this June 26th of 2023. It's done on 16 count Spooky Hollow Aida by Fabric Flare. I'm now 14% done with it, with 1,238 stitches completed. I started this as an anniversary piece for my wife and I. Our anniversary is on June 28th. But obviously you had plans that day, so I started on the 26th of that year. Just kind of chipping away at this. I do love this, but I'm only 14% done. So I think I might put this on pause until I finish Flower Power. Sorry. I love this design though. It's so pretty. And then this is a printed Aida. So I thought it was going to look really cool and be like a stormy night sky in a graveyard. So, all right. That's the morning Rolodex sampler. Rolodex morning sampler. Sorry. Next up, I have the Floral Alphabet Sampler by Tinsel Cross Stitch. I started this July 11th, 2023. This is done on 32 count Blue Ridge linen from Atomic Ranch. I'm 58.3% done with this. I have 5,278 stitches done. As you can see, I did take out the middle, well, it's not really the middle, the alphabet down, like, between this and this, there's another alphabet. I did remove that. I love this project, but it's just not really something I enjoy stitching. This middle section I love so much, but I have learned this year a lot about my stitching, and one of those is I don't love alphabets, and I don't love repeating motifs. So that's pretty much this entire thing. So I decided just to cut out that second alphabet, so I still have the first one, and then I'll have 2 borders of these flowers. There are some eyelets in these flowers, and there will be some satin stitch in this vase. So it is a very gorgeous project, and the colors, I will say, are impeccable. I absolutely love this. And this is on my list to finish in 2025. I wanted to finish it last year, but kind of got burnt out on it. So I think I should have it finished in May of this year. Wish me luck and bully me if I don't do it, because if I don't finish it this year, it is probably going to be a UFO, or I can pass the WIP. But I'm going to try and get it done just because I do love the colors and it's a beautiful project. My next WIP is a Christmas in July start, which I did in 2023. This is Santa's Trips by Barbara Anna. I started this July 18th. It is on 32 count dirty linen by Zweigart, and I am 12.8% done at 1,474 stitches complete. I love Barbara Anna. I'm obsessed. I want to stitch 90% of her patterns. This Christmas one was just too good to give up. This border, this berry border, is crazy. It's so good. It's so good. I definitely want to put this on my work on in 2025 pile. It won't be done, obviously, next year. Like I said, I'm only 12.8% done. I would like to maybe finish a square or 2 a year, and just kind of do the border as I go. That being said, I might pull this out in July. I don't, like I said, love working on things out of their season, but this might be when I have to get it done, just because it's a little bit bigger. But I feel like the frames don't feel very Christmassy, so maybe throughout the year I can work on the border and the frames, and then during Christmas try and crank out at least 2 or 3 boxes maybe a season. I do enjoy working on this. It's very fun. I won't mind carrying it into the next several years of stitching, but again, with all of my projects, I would love to see them up on the wall. So hopefully it's not too long before I can get that finished. My next WIP is the Monarch Quaker by Yasmin's Made with Love. I started this August 19th of 2023. It is done on 36 count doubloon by Picture This Plus. I am 20.8% complete with 2,156 stitches done. This is a memorial piece for my late cousin, who I love dearly. She passed away in 2022. This is for her. As you could see from the cover image, I don't know if you saw or not, but there's an alphabet at the bottom that I am leaving out, so it'll just be a square project with the Quakers. And obviously, like, the big huge butterfly in the middle. So obviously this is going in my work on in 2025 pile. I don't think I'll be able to finish it. I still have probably 7,000 to 8,000 stitches left on it, but I would like to get a big chunk done in August around her birthday. Next up is All Are Equal. This is by Modern Folk Embroidery. I started this October 2nd of 2023. It is done on 40 count copper penny by Atomic Ranch. This is another project that I'm kind of just stitching the parts I want to stitch. I had originally planned to stitch all of it. However, upon review, I obviously haven't done a lot of work on this. I don't know if it's the fabric. It's not the easiest to work with, and I have to have very specific lighting. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into it. So I have the skeleton legs and then part of the coffin. So what I decided to do was finish out the skeleton in the coffin and make him like a little pillow to like put on my bookshelf or something. I think it would be really cute. So that puts me at 32% technically. I think I have like 1,100 stitches left of the skeleton in the coffin. So I have this to finish pretty soon. Maybe this month, maybe not, but this is going in the finish in 2025 pile, and if I'm lucky, I'll FFO it too. Next up is Lost Spirits by Birds of a Feather. I started this October 17th, 2023. It's done on 32 count dirty linen from Zweigart, and this is where I got to this year. I absolutely love this one. I am 22.7% complete with 905 stitches done on her. I think I can finish this year. I only have, technically this is my only Halloween WIP. I started a bunch of Halloween projects last year, and luckily I have either UFO'd or finished the rest of them. Again, for the third time, I'm not a very out of season stitcher. I love working on Halloween projects and Halloween and Christmas, you know. So, that being said, I didn't want a lot of Halloween projects that I wouldn't be able to finish for, you know, 3 or 5 years, depending on how big they were, how many other projects I had going. So, I think I'm going to try and keep it to like 1 or 2 seasonal projects at a time, moving forward. So, I definitely want to get this finished this year. I think I can do it. I have less than 3,000 stitches. So, I think I can do it. So, I'm putting this in the finish in 2025 pile. The next WIP I have to show y'all is Little Brown Bat. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. I started this October 19th, 2023. This is done on 36 count linen from Fortnite Fabrics. It doesn't have a name or anything. And I am 12.5% done with 826 stitches done on this bat. This linen is so gorgeous. I love it so much. I'm hoping, well, it probably will use up the majority of it, but I do think it's the perfect project for it. I'm doing 1/1 except for the black. No, I'm sorry, 1/2 except for the black. I just like a more full coverage black. So I'm doing 2 strands on 36 count for the black, but everything else is 1 strand. So I think the Little Brown Bat is going to be another one of my pause projects for 2025. I have a couple of Cottage Garden samplings, which I'm about to show y'all. And I think I want to try and get those done first. And so I think to do that, I need to put this on pause for next year and focus on getting other stitches, or getting those stitches into the other projects I have that are similar to that. Next up, I have Strawberry Harvest by Cottage Garden Samplings. This was started November 1st of 2023. It is done on 32 count feldspar by Picture This Plus. I am 25.1% with 1,526 stitches done. I'm loving these pinks. I did sub out the bright green for some stash that I thought was pretty. I love this. I'm going to put this in the finish in 2025 pile. The month of June, I host the Strawberry Moon Sal. So essentially any project with strawberries in it, start or stitch in June. Even though I didn't start this for Strawberry Moon, I think I'm going to try and finish it for Strawberry Moon this year. I will be putting this in my finish in 2025 pile. Next up is another Cottage Garden Samplings. This is the Woodpecker that I started November 9th of 2023. This is done on, I think it's another Fortnite fabric, which obviously you can't get anymore. I want to say it's a 32 count. I think I'm doing 2 strands. Yeah, I think it's a 32 count. And this is the Woodpecker. I'm 16.1% with 1,163 stitches done. So this is the project I want to finish while Little Brown Bat is on pause. And then once I get this finished, I will pick up Little Brown Bat again. I don't know if that'll be this year or next year, but I definitely want to focus on this one and get as much progress into this year as I can. Don't think I'll finish it, but I'm not going to count anything out. Sometimes I get a little wild hair in me and I just want to stitch something until it's done. Next up is Harvest Season Cucumbers. This is by Owl Forest Embroidery. I started this November 14th. It's done on a 28 count, sorry. Just neutral. I want to say it's Lugana probably, from Stash. I did my own floss conversion for this. Obviously getting the Owl Forest embroidery threads is really hard, but they're gorgeous and they're all like highly variegated. So I wanted to honor that aspect of this design and find alternatives. If you would like to know my conversion, just reach out to me and I'm happy to share that floss list with you. So here is where I am with that. I am 48.7% done with 2,558 stitches. This is what I usually refer to as my pickle whip. I love pickles. I'm a pickle gal. I also have a whip selection game called Pick a Whip, but I'm Southern and I talk fast sometimes, so a lot of people thought I was saying pickle whip. And then guess what? I have a pickle whip. So anyway, I absolutely adore this. It is so gorgeous. And this is going in the finish in 2025 pile. I want to get it done so badly. That's my pickle whip. Next up, I have the Scissor Sampler by Tellem Emblem. I started this November 16th, 2023. It is done on a Fortnite Fabrics 14 count Ada, I believe. Here is this. I don't have any stats on this. It's a paper chart, so no idea how far I am in on this. I do love this. I kind of want to do a color conversion or potentially restart it on a different fabric. This was in my UFO pile just because I wasn't sure what to do with it, but I do love this project. It is stunning. It looks so good finished, so I think I might push through on this and try and get some progress on her because she is really pretty. I did have to frog some, and I think I might have cut some linen, some Ada threads in here. So I don't know what to do with that, but maybe I can just stitch over and it'll be fine. My next whip to show y'all is Birds to the Boughs by Lindy Stitches. I started this November 22nd of 2023. This is stitched on, I think, the called for, which I don't have it in front of me. If I figure it out, I'll let you know. I think it's like Blue Moon maybe, or something like that. I'll put it on the screen. I am 10.2% done with this. 1,519 stitches. The colors on this just sold me. As soon as I saw the pattern, I was like, and I will be stitching that. I am omitting the outer border just because there's this swirly border that I think does a good enough job. And I actually prefer it better. It feels less boxy and more organic this way. But I really love this project. However, I think I'm only going to pull it out 1 month this year, and I think that's fine. According to my Notion, I haven't worked on this since April 30th, which is criminal, but I do love it very much. I am planning to pick this up in March for my Battle of the Baps. If you don't know what a BAP is, it stands for Big Ass Project, which this technically is. So I'm going to be doing like a bracket style Battle of the Baps just to see which project I can get the most progress on. And I'll talk about that more in like a full floss tube episode, but So I think I'm going to pull it out for that, but then I think I'm going to put it in the pause list for the rest of the year, just to get some of my other bigger projects. Sorry, I had a pop-up on my phone, so don't know where I stopped off at, but I'm going to be working on this for my Battle of the Baps, but then I think I'm going to put it on pause for the rest of the year, just to get some work done on my other WIPs. Next up is Sarah Moon 1791. This is by Stitchy Box Samplers. I started this November 27th of 2023. It is done on 40 count truffle by Picture This Plus with the lovely Cam the Stitcher's conversion. She made us a little whimsy goth conversion and I am obsessed with it. I am 20.9% done with 4,488 stitches. Unfortunately, you can't see the color of this fabric very well, which is so frustrating because I wish I could show y'all the true color of this fabric. It is pink. I mean, I don't know, it's pink, but I can't ever get a photo. I can never get it on camera. I don't know. Like, no matter where I put it, I cannot get a good photo. It's honestly a little bit warmer than my shirt, but it's like pink. So I don't know why it doesn't show up, but this is my full moon stitch with Megan at the Seattle Stitcher, Cam at Cam the Stitcher, and Bridget at the Museum Stitcher. So we work on this every month on the full moon. And I thought, what better project than Sarah Moon, right? So that's kind of how we came up with the idea. I haven't worked on it since November. I kind of gave it a rest in December. I do want to try and crank out at least 500 to 1,000 stitches every session on this because I only pick it up, you know, like 1 or 2 days out of the month. I would love to get at least 500 stitches a month on this just because it is a bigger project. And I still have about, I don't know, like 16,000 stitches left on it. So I need to get it done. I need to get some progress on it every month. But I'm just enjoying working on it, you know, taking my time. She's beautiful. Love working on her. It's this fun little check-in we get to do every month. So if you want to see the other projects, go check out the people I mentioned. I know that Bridget and Megan, they're using Vicky Clayton Silks, I believe, the pack for that. And then Cameron and I are doing the DMC conversion that she came up with. The next WIP is another one of my birthday starts. This is Coffee and Eggs by the Artsy Housewife. I started this December 4th of 2023 and I am 14.1% done with it. It's stitched on 18 count Legacy, which I believe is a Picture This Plus. I've done 1,419 stitches on it, so not a lot. This is another one of those projects that I love so much I don't think I want it done. Every time I think about what I want to stitch on, it's this project, but I never do. So even though I don't think it can be a finish this year, I'm going to push to get a lot of progress on it. And if I can't get it finished, I would like to get it at least like 75% done. I would love to get a whole lot more done on this. Every time I pick it up, I love it. The color palette, I love it. I love working on it. You know, 18 count Ada, it's just a breeze. I'm obsessed with it and I don't know why I don't work on it more other than the fact I don't want it to be over. So I definitely look forward to showing y'all the progress I get on this year. So my next WIP is going to be another Christmas project. This is Arranging Ornaments by Ink Circles. I started this December 15th of 2023. It's done on 36 count Gingerbread by Picture This Plus. And I am 33% done at 1,230 stitches. This was a Jingle Ball exclusive last year. It has now been released, so you can now get the pattern through Ink Circles. But I got it last year during the Jingle Ball, and I worked a lot on it last year, which I thought I was going to get a lot more done. Unfortunately, I did not. But I absolutely love this. I think I'm going to throw it in the finish in 2025 pile. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. So Maybe keep an eye out for this in my 2025 finish parade. We'll see. Next up is Two Birds, One Tree by Modern Folk Embroidery. I started this December 29th, 2023. I started this with Cameron at Cam the Stitcher. This is kind of like our bestie stitch. I'm doing it on 28 count House of Bone and Salt by Fangirl Fibers. And I'm doing it with Fiesta by Color and Cotton, which is a gorgeous pink and orange, which is my fave color combo. Let me show this to y'all a little bit better. I am 15.4% done at 1,188 stitches. This one has a total of 7,700, so I still have a good ways to go. However, I do think I want to work on this a lot next year. It's so pretty. This fabric was a gift from Bridget because, again, pink and orange is my favorite. She knows me so well. And then she actually recommended Fiesta by Color and Cotton. So even though this was practically kitted up by Bridget, it's Cam and I start. So I'm pretty sure Cameron is doing hers on just like a blush pink fabric with the same floss. So go check out her WIP parade if you want to see hers. They're both absolutely stunning. And I'm putting this on the work on in 2025 pile. So far, I only have like 3 projects on pause, so don't know don't know what good I'm doing with that, but let's keep going and we'll see where it's at the end. My next WIP is Needles Dance. This is a collaborative design between several designers. I believe it's hands-on design, ink circles, and there's one more, I think. But it's Needles Dance. I started December 30th, 2023. I'm 33.7% done. I did restart this year completely. The picture I have might be from the other fabric. I'm doing this on, I believe, 36 count Blue Moon by Bestitch Me. It's just, the linen I bought was the called for, but it was very stiff and scratchy. And last year I was in the Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month Club, and I got this fabric one month and thought it was just perfect for this. I will say it's a lot deeper and darker, and the colors, I'd say they don't pop nearly as much, but I also think that's a lie because they look gorgeous. So yeah, I am 33.7%. I think I can finish this year. What do y'all think? Sound off in the comments if you think that I'm making huge plans I won't be able to reach, but I'm going to put this in the finish in 2025 pile because, I mean, it's between 2,000 and 3,000 stitches left. I think I can do that. All right, that was the end of my 2023 starts. Now we're going to jump into 2024 starts. I have 20 projects that I started this year that are still on my WIP list. That's great. I think in 2023 I started 40 something projects. Right, yeah, your reaction is completely valid because when I found that out I was like, what? I mean, this year obviously I've started at least 20, definitely more than that, but I finished several of those, which I'm very proud of. I also had a lot of restarts this year. I learned a lot, like I said, this year as to what I like stitching, how I like stitching, and I restarted things that I didn't enjoy working on, but that I would enjoy on other fabrics or like a different method. So it was a very formative year for me in 2024, and I look forward to, you know, practicing everything I've learned in 2025. So I'm going to take a little coffee break and then we'll jump into 2024 starts. If you've been watching my channel for a little bit, I don't know how much I didn't or did talk about my 2024 goals, but we were shooting for a low start year. We were thinking 1 start a quarter, maybe. That obviously didn't pan out, but I did start way less, and like I said, I learned a lot more about myself last year. And I, like I said, hope to take that into next year. But low starts / no starts is just not something that I can do. I love projects. I love starting projects. It might be a cross-stitch hot take, but starting a project is more fun for me than finishing it. that's the long and the short of it. I know that finishing projects for some people is just the best thing ever, but for me, like looking at a pattern, loving the pattern, becoming obsessed with the pattern, picking out fabric and floss and putting it on my calendar to start it and actually starting it, like that's more enjoyable to me than finishing, which again might be a cross-stitch hot take. So even though I don't want to start several things or too many things in 2025, I will start things in 2025. So after that tangent, sorry about that, let's get into my first start of 2024, which I held off until January 30th, people. I didn't just jump in January, even though I did get got in January. And it's all Carrie at Tiger Lily Designs' fault, because she posted her little birthday sale for Ann Richardson by My Sister Samplers. And I was like, I have to do it. I have to do it. This is stitched on 36 count Nightshade by Bestitch Me. And I bought the, oh, this is 36 count. I bought the Vicky Clayton silks. Let me grab them because they're the reason I kitted this up. I had never worked with silks before, and these are impeccable. And when I saw the color palette, I was like, okay, well, that's a problem. And I started it. So these are the Vicky Clayton silks. We've got, you know, pink, red, these beautiful greens, this cream, blue. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So I'm 12.1% done at 798 stitches done, which is not a lot, folks. There's 6,600 in this project. I got most of this done, and then that's it. I think I worked on it a little bit in September this year, but I've only worked on this project for 3 days this whole year. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign. I do love these colors. I'm obsessed with these colors. This fabric's beautiful. It's like a periwinkle type fabric. It's kind of purple blue. It's gorgeous. However, should I put this in my pause pile? Oh no. Guys, okay, now it's getting hard. Let me put this in a maybe pile. We're creating a fourth pile here, folks, because I don't know what to do with that one. Don't love alphabets. We've gone over that, but I have done a lot on that alphabet. I might as well just finish it out. And I think once I get the alphabet done and I go down to like the floral area, I'm going to enjoy it a lot more. So maybe my goal this year will get the alphabet done. All right. Make note, I would like to get the alphabet done in 2025, and then I could get to the fun stuff. Okay. Moving on. My next WIP is a Study in Pink by the Artsy Housewife. Hoo-wee girl. I'm obsessed. Obsessed with this project. This is done on 18 count Bramble Ada. I started it February 29th. So again, I got in February by this project, but I got a lot of work done on her. I am 24.2% done. I did 3,000 stitches on her in 10 days of stitching this year. The fabric is a little bit pinkier than it's showing up. It's just like a really pale pink. Like I said, it's Bramble by Picture This Plus, 18 count. Don't know if I said that or not. And I think I did the called for with a few substitutions. I worked on this a lot in March. And then I don't think I picked it up again, unfortunately. Stunning. This, working on in 2025. For sure. Would it be absolutely wonko bonko to think I could finish it? Maybe, but I'm still going to put it on my work on pile. Let me pull up these flosses for you guys. You know, pink, purple, orange. Like, that is my vibe. My vibe. So that's all of those. Stunning. And I will be working on this year. Next up, I have one of the Nostalgic Tarot cards. This is the Lovers by the Witchy Stitcher. I started this April 9th, 2024. And I'm doing it on 16 count black Ada. I'm 12.1% done with 645 stitches. This one obviously is just bright and colorful and beautiful, and I love the little aliens. Like, it's just so cute. I'm absolutely obsessed with these colors. I do, however, think this is going to be an on-hold project, just because I need to prioritize some of the other things. And this one I love, but I feel like I could work on it anytime, you know, like this is one that I can pick up next year and we'll still love it just as much and get it finished. So we're gonna put this in. Oh yeah, this is my crazy Tula Pink project bag that I have it in. She's going in the paws. I have decided that I can change my mind obviously at any point with these things I'm putting on pause, but I do think narrowing down the projects I'm working on will be less overwhelming, because as much as I love every single one of these, that makes it hard to make a decision with what to stitch on. So I think I need to just narrow my focus just a little bit. My next WIP was another restart for 2024. This is Opal by Carolyn Manning. I started originally last May in 2023, I started the big Opal project. So she was like 33,000 stitches, a big mama, let me tell you. And I just wasn't enjoying that process. I mean, I love the Kaleidoscope series, but I just knew that 33,000 stitches was not something that was going to be doable for me, especially with the other big projects I have. So I decided to start one of these smalls that came with the pattern. So I think it came with the large one and 3 small ones. So I picked the one I liked the most, but then I was like, let me switch it up. Let me do something a little wacky. I restarted it this May on 28 count over 1. So I'm doing 2 over 1 tent stitch on 28 count. I am 15.4%. So a little over 1,000 stitches out of 6,500 for this little guy. It's just so tiny. I don't know if I want to make it a little pillow or what I'm going to do with it, but it's fun. And I picked Opal originally for our Marilyn, that's not her name, Manning May, which is something I do with the girlies, where we stitch on Carolyn Manning projects during May. So I would love to get this finished this year. So she's going in the finished pile. And I think I could do it. It's tent stitch. So I think I did 1,000 stitches in one day. Also because this type of stitching, the block stitching, is so much fun. And I would definitely do a full size, not like a full size, but I would do one of the minis on like over 2 and not like a little micro project. But the colors are just like really fun and pastel, which is what originally drew me to this. The next project is another Manning May start. This is Tint Maker February. I started it May 1st, 2024. This is on 18 count Merlot. I believe Fiber on a Whim. This is just like an offcut I think I got from Lindy Stitches. I'm 23.4% done with this, and call me crazy, I think I'm going to try and finish it this year. I still have probably 3,000 stitches left, but surely I think I'm going to work on it in February, since it is the February Tint Maker, but I could finish it up in May if I don't finish it in February. So I'm going to push to try and finish it at least in May. But I love this fabric. I love these colors. Gorgina. So that's another finish in 2025 project in the pile. The next project I have to show y'all is a big one. This is the Cherries by Long Dog Samplers. I started this June 1st of 2024. Originally the idea was for this project to be done by the time I'm 30. So in June, if I did the math correctly, there's 30 months from June 2024 until my 30th birthday. So I was giving myself 30 months to finish this project. I've fallen a little bit behind, but honestly not too much. I've put a lot of work in on this this year. This, like I said, started June 1st, 2024. I'm stitching this on 18 count white Aida with all the called for flaw. Well, not all the called for. I did switch some things out. This is where I'm at. I am 5,180 stitches in, which is 13.5%. I've worked on this for 20 days this year, and I love it. I love this style of stitching where it's like black outline. If you can see my arm, I love a black outline. So, I just love how bold it looks, and it's fun to, you know, do the outlines and then fill in the color. So I've been having a whole lot of fun, with this. And I plan to keep it up in 2025. Maybe not as much as I was and kind of wanted to, but I do think I would like to get a heck of a lot of progress because I need to finish it by the end of next year. So it has a total of 38,000 stitches. So yeah, I'm gonna need to get it together. There's obviously more than 30,000 stitches, so that's more than 1,000 stitches a month consistently to get this done by then. So one, wish me luck, but two, please follow along in that journey because I'm really excited to see more of that pattern come to life. And I did technically start that for Strawberry Moon this year. Strawberry Moon style, like I talked about, was what I started this year in June well, I guess last year. Hello. In June of 2024 was the first ever Strawberry Moon sow. So there's like one little strawberry in that pattern, and I was like, okay, I'm starting it for that. But also to have it done by the time I'm 30, just to justify me starting a project that large. But I saw it and fell in love with it. Obviously anything bright and colorful is going to be something that I love and is going to tempt me to start. So my next project brings me into my StitchCon starts. I did attend Weekend A this previous year, and it was a blast. I don't think I've announced it or anything, but I will be attending Weekend A of 2025. So if you're going to StitchCon and you're going to Weekend A, let me know in the comments. I would love to say hi if you're going to be there. So this is the Biscornu by, I don't want to butcher this name, Trina Mastakova on Etsy. I started this June 8th, 2024. I'm 12.5% done. It's not a huge project, obviously. So this will be going on my finish in 2025 pile. Me and the girlies started a Biscornu at StitchCon this year, and I would love to have it finished by StitchCon this year, I guess. I'm confusing myself with it this year, last year, next year, because we're in 2025, people. It's the 3rd, so I'm sure y'all know that. This is done on, I believe, a Picture This Plus, 28 or 32 count. I got it with like a kit several years ago and didn't end up doing the project, or I can see where I kind of frogged it. So I believe it's just a gray Picture This Plus, and I'm doing the called for DMC with it. So yeah, I hope to finish this and fully finish this year. I've never done a Biscornu finish. I'm a little intimidated, but I know it'll be fun. The next project is one that I kitted up at StitchCon, and it's also another one that I started with Cam at Cam the Stitcher. This is Hansen by My Sister Samplers. I started it on June 17th, 2024. It's done on 40 count Moonstone by Fiber on a Whim. I'm 5.9% done. at 1,566 stitches. So we saw the model of this at StitchCon. When I say my jaw on the floor, it was so beautiful. And then beside the pattern, they had, sorry for the glare, they had the Hansen silk pack. So this was a splurge purchase for sure. However, it was more cost effective than kitting it up myself, just because with this, it gives you what you need. So the border color you're gonna need a lot more of, so there's a lot more of it on here, and then some of these only have like one, like 6-strand twist in it, because you won't need as much. So I thought it was gonna be the most cost effective way of doing this, and it was like my StitchCon splurge, and Cam also picked it up, so I was like, I'll pick it up and we'll start it together. Cameron did pick out this fabric, and I think it's gorgeous and beautiful and stunning and perfection. Yeah, this is Hansen. She's a big boy, about 26,000 stitches. So I think similarly to my birds to the boughs, I will work on this for my Battle of the Baps. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Couldn't think of it. Battle of the Baps, but I think after that and before that, it'll be on hold. I think my BAP of the year is going to be Fruits of Plenty, because one, that's quickly going to become my oldest WIP, and I would like to get a lot of work done on her. So I think some of these other bigger projects, I'm going to touch them this year just for my Battle of the Baps, but then I'm going to channel that focus into one project rather than trying to spread myself over all of them. And we'll see how that works. If it doesn't work, then we'll try again, do something else. Next up is Weeds and Wildflowers. This was a collab with the Artsy Housewife and Roxy Floss Co. I did order the kit for this, or the box, so it was a birthday sal box situation for Caroline, and I ordered it, one, because this pattern is incredible, 2, I wanted the Roxy Floss, and 3, the needle minder, the exclusive needle minder was, I needed it. Let me grab it. So this is the exclusive needle minder that came with the box, and I love moths and butterflies and bugs in design, not in reality. That's neither here nor there. So I was like, I need that. Okay, so this is on 20 count Aida, which is another thing I discovered in 2024 that I love. It's called Buttercup, and it came with the kit, and these are the kit flosses on, let me grab the kit flosses, sorry. So these are the Roxy Floss Co. flosses. So stunning. This is more of like a muted color palette than I usually go for, but I love it so much. And I'm 10.2% done with this. I put in 873 stitches. Gorgeous. I do think this is going in the pause pile. I have several other moth projects going right now, and Artsy Housewife projects going. And I do love this one a lot, but I would like to prioritize the other ones, which is the whole theme of this video. So that being said, I'm going to put that on pause until I can get some of those other projects wrapped up. My next WIP is another insect WIP. This is Saturniity Satellite by Sprouting Lupine. Sprouting Lupine is one of my favorite designers. I'm obsessed with everything she puts out. I do have a couple of finishes from her. Obsessed. So this was started on July 19th. I'm doing this on April Showers 20 count Aida, so it's super bright blue, pretty close to what the model is stitched on. And it's just the most beautiful pastel, gorgeous, stunning flosses. It's neon for sure. I am 14.6% done. This project has 3,100 stitches in it, and I've done about 500, so 20 count Aida is incredible. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. I don't love 40 count linen. I do find that it strains my eyes pretty bad. I do probably need to go to the eye doctor, but fortunately for me, 20 count Aida exists, and it's very easy to work on, and it's soft, and the colors are beautiful. So if you are attracted to the idea of 40 count, but you're intimidated by it, pick up some 20 count Aida, babe. I'm telling you, your life will be changed forever. Even if you like 40 count Aida, or 40 count linen, try some 20 count Aida. It is gorgeous. Putting this in the finish pile, I feel like I can crank this out in a month. And I want to put the rest of this fabric back in my stash. We're going to call her finish in 2025. That pile's getting kind of big. She's getting kind of big, but I think I can do it. So next up is another post Strawberry Moon Sow start. This is Strawberry Mountain by Jess over at Jed X Stitch. Jess was so kind to send me this pattern. She designed it on or around Strawberry Moon Sow, and I saw it and was obsessed with it. It's like my favorite things. The color palette was incredible. Obviously the strawberries, obviously the insects. It was gorgeous. And she reached out and asked if she could send it to me for hosting the Strawberry Moon Sow, and I was like, you don't have to, but yeah, it was literally in my cart already. So anyway, thank you again for that, Jess, if you're watching. That made me so happy. This is a really sad start though. Unfortunately, I got a little caught up this summer with the starts. My resolve started to weaken at that point, and there were just too many good things. So anyway, I started this July 20th, 2024. I'm stitching this on, I believe it's called Gold Rush. It is 20 count Aida by Bestitch Me. So I just have this little tiny piece in here done. I have 302 stitches, which is 4% of this pattern. This color specifically is a Roxy Floss that was called for a majority of the pattern, so I did splurge and get a couple of skeins ordered of that. This I will be putting and working on in 2025. Because 4% cannot stand, folks. I need to get more work done on this. I do have, how many other Jed X Stitch patterns do I have? I know I have at least one more WIP from Jed X Stitch, and about the rest of them that she's ever designed on my wish list. So anyway, that's the called for Roxy Floss, which is Mum's the Word. I think the rest is DMC if I'm not mistaken. My next project was another impulse start. Well, I wouldn't say impulse. Jan Hicks, who has several designs that I love very much, released a photo of this project. This is Carnival by Jan Hicks, and I was gobsmacked. Completely, utterly gobsmacked. This is right up my alley. It's almost like she designed it for me. The patterns, the colors, the entire thing is just impeccable. And I was like, I don't need to start it. I don't need to start it. And then months went by and she released it as a PDF pattern. So then I gave way to the temptation and I started it. I did start this one with Maddie over at Kitty Stitch. She's way farther than me, so I don't know if she's posted her WIP parade yet, but whenever she does, go check that out because she has more done than me. I started this August 1st, 2024. I got 857 stitches in, which is 3.7%. This project has 22,800 stitches in it. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on, let me check this, 25 count. So 1/1, 25 count. It is so teeny tiny and dainty and beautiful, and I know that it's gonna be stunning. Gonna be stunning. The piece of fabric is not huge, but obviously I'm doing it over one, so she's not a little girl, but I'm obsessed. I do think I want to keep this out for this year because 3.7% is sad, so I definitely need to get some progress on her. I gotta speed it up. My tablet is about to die. And that's what I'm getting all my notes from. So we're almost done. I think we have 8 more WIPs. Next up, another artsy housewife. This is A Study in Nature. I started this August 22nd. I'm doing it on 32 count cypress from Fiber on a Whim. I'm 7.6% done with about 913 stitches. As much as I love these little butterfly patterns from Artsy Housewife, they're dense, let me tell you. She's got about 12,000 stitches in her. I did my own full color conversion for this. It was model stitched on like bright red, which looks incredible. But I kind of just went crazy with it, did my own thing and switched some things up and did it on this kind of like green gray. Definitely a green gray, not a gray green. Do you know what I mean? I know I only have 7.6% done on it, but I think she's going on hold. I have a study in pink that I would like to get a lot of progress on, if not finish at some point this year. So I'm gonna put this on hold for now until I can either get more work done on a study in pink or potentially finish that. Next up, I have Moss in the Moon by Tiny Modernist. This was a stitch I started with Tara at Wilda Woman Crafts. This was kind of our joint birthday start. My birthday is in December, but I start working on my birthday starts, you know, a couple months ahead, so I don't have so many birthday starts. Because I do the amount of starts as the year I'm in, technically. So this year I'll be turning 29, so I'll be doing 9 starts this year. So last year it was 8. I started this September 4th, 2024. This is on 36 count Nightshade by by Bestitch Me. Sorry about that. This is the same fabric as my Ann Hansen. And this is where I got it. 13.8%, 738 stitches. I love this pattern so much. It is so stunning. I'm pretty sure I'm doing just the DMC for these, and then I did pick a variegated purple to go in these little mushies. I did eliminate the outer border, as I'm one to do, because I think it just looks stunning like this. I do think I'm going to leave this out to work on this year. It has a total of 5,300 stitches, so I do think I could potentially maybe get it finished this year. If I focus down on it for at least a couple of months, I might be able to get it done. So we're going to put this, we'll put it in the finish pile. I think I'm going to call this my finish wish list pile. So I may not finish everything in this pile, but it's on my wish list to be finished. Next up, I have Bearing Gifts by Kathy Barrick. I started this September 18th of 2024. I started this in honor of Cameron at Came the Stitcher's birthday. I'm doing this on 20 count Ada. I know this is by Bestitch Me. Another 20 count Ada project. I'm obsessed. This was one I wanted to start during the Strawberry Moon sale, but I didn't want to start too many things, so I held off. But luckily, Cameron wanted to start Kathy Barrick for her birthday, and I wanted to start this, so it kind of worked out for everyone. I'm 33.4% at a little over 1,100 stitches done. Putting this in the Finish in 2025 pile. It does have 3,500 stitches, which it doesn't really look like it because it's on 20 count Ada and it's really small. But I essentially just have the strawberry in her dress to fill in, so I think I can do that. And this belongs in one of my favorite project bags. My sister bought this for me. It's by So Darn Simple, and it's got these cute strawberry and moss in it, and like has a handle. So I wanted to share that. Okay guys, we're getting close. We're in the final 4 WIPs. Next up, I have the Scorpion and the Frog. This is another Jet X Stitch design that I started for XO Needle in the Haystack XO's birthday Sal. October 17th is the start date for this. I'm doing the called for flosses, which is DMC, and I'm doing it on, I believe, 32 count Granny Smith, which is this crazy neon green and yellow. It is gorgeous. I am 7.6% done with this with 708 stitches completed out of 9,344. Again, the colors in this are incredible. This fabric is a little wonko bonko. Not my usual, but obviously anything bright and crazy I'm here for. I do think I'm going to be responsible and put this in the pause pile, at least until I can get Strawberry Mountain a little bit more done. I have more done on this than Strawberry Mountain, so, and that has been a WIP for longer, so I think I'm going to put this on pause just briefly. Maybe not for the full year, but for the indefinite amount of months right now. Next up, I have Birdman Cometh. This is by Little Robin Designs. I started this November 4th, 2025. So I have another sad start on this. I believe this is on 40 count red currant. I don't have the sticker anymore. I don't have it in my Notion, unfortunately. Don't know what happened there, but I believe it was red currant. By who? Don't know. So really sorry about that. I have a little start on her, about 3%, 279 stitches. Not a whole lot. This was considered one of my 8 birthday starts this year. So I've been wanting to start this project for a while. But I had some pretty intense goals at the end of this year. So my birthday starts did kind of get neglected, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'm putting this on the work on in 2025 pile and we'll get some progress in. Alrighty. So my actual birthday start on my birthday this year is Moonglow by Nora Corbett. I'm stitching this on 32 count Mediterranean Sea by Zweigart, which is the called for. I had purchased this fabric for a previous project and it showed up and wasn't the color that I thought it was going to be. So I just had it in stash and it turned out to be the called for this. So that was nice. I started this December 4th. I only stitched on it for one day. So I just have a little bit of her hair and a flower. It's not a whole lot to look at. This is a Nora Corbett, so it's a paper chart. I don't have any stats on it, but I got it started, girl. That's all that matters. I will put this in my work on in 2025 pile because I've wanted to stitch this project since 2022. And I just kept putting it off. I did finish my other Nora Corbett this year, so I do think I was smart in waiting until I had that done first. So now I can work off of this year. I don't love paper charts usually. I have been spoiled by Pattern Keeper, so working off paper charts can be kind of frustrating. I have my, stitchy setup pretty much based around my tablet. I have a nice place to put that. It's all comfy, and then a paper chart kind of just like throws off the balance, but I'll get over it. It's gonna be worth it in the end. I'm very, very excited. I did get Karen water lilies, not all of them, but some of them for that project, so I'm really excited to try out some new flosses. And my final WIP in this parade to show y'all is the Winter Girl from Four Seasons by Barbara Anna. I started this December 6th, and I'm stitching this on... I will find that out and put it here because I don't have it in Notion. I definitely need to update my Notion. I don't have a whole lot. 245 stitches, 8.2%. I am stitching the Four Seasons girls separately. Where's my project bag for this? I'm a mess and I've been talking for almost 2 hours. So hopefully it's not 2 hours for y'all. I'm going to edit this down a little, but anyway. I plan to stitch one of these seasonal girls every 3 months. I started winter in December. I plan to finish this in February. And then I will start the spring gal, then the summer, then the fall. Hopefully I will have this whole series done by fall of next year, or winter of next year, I guess. I only stitch on this one day during the Jingle Ball. I need to pull this back out. I think it's roughly like 900 and something stitches a month to get it done in 3 months. So I think that's doable. Yeah, follow along if you want to see the other girls in this series as well as the fabric I put them on. So those are all of my WIPs. I hope you enjoyed getting to see all of the projects that I have, as well as me rambling on about all of them. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for being here. I don't know how you did it, but welcome to the end of this video. I'm going to cover some just basic stats. This was my first full year using Notion, so I actually have some stats this year, which is really cool. Let's see. I have 41 WIPs that I'm carrying into 2025 with me. I really wanted to get into the 30s. Unfortunately, obviously I didn't get there, but I'm close, and I'm very proud of that. I did finish 20 things this year. Some of those were starts and finishes, some of those were older projects, and those don't count my UFOs. I did UFO a handful of projects this year, because again, I learned a lot about myself in 2024, and 2023 was just a year of starts for me. I just got into cross stitch, I just got into floss tube, and I got swept up in it, and I regret nothing. It was incredible, and it was fun and joyous, but you know, 2024, I had to, you know, sit with that and figure out what was working for me and what wasn't. So anyway, 20 finishes this year. I think that's incredible. I'm very proud of that, and I've even framed some of them, which is even better because FFOing is not my hobby, cross stitch is. And for my starts, I started 29 things this year. So, you know, we're netting about 9. I think that's good. I think that's good. Just quickly looking at these, some of them, oh, I've already completed 9 out of the 29, so that's great. I started and finished 9 projects this year, and then finished 20 other things, right? That can't be right. Okay, I'm silly goofy and didn't know what this was saying. So essentially, I started and finished 9 things and then finished 11 previous WIPs. So, I'll take it. A lot of those were smalls. I went to, you know, StitchCon, so I had that small. I had a couple of virtual retreats that I attended and started and finished those smalls. And just some other little silly things, which I love and I'm proud of. I did track the number of stitches I stitched. I will put it on the screen here. It's in another document. So this is the number of stitches I stitched this year, which is really, really cool to be able to track. And I look forward to seeing what that looks like in 2025. Do want to leave room for other crafting in my life. Cross stitch kind of has taken over, and I love that and I have so much fun. But I would like to do other things too. Like I said, I recently got into knitting and I've been really enjoying that and making garments, and I would love to continue sewing and doing those sorts of projects. So I have some ambitious goals for next year in general, but if you like this video and you'd like to follow along on all of the things, then subscribe, go follow me on Instagram, and then if you're interested in my Pickle WIP, which is my cross stitch WIP selection game, check it out on Instagram. It's under my profile, and I pin that post every month. At the beginning of the month, I post 2 prompts. So enough rambling and ranting about me and what I do and all those things. Thank you so much for being here. Love you, mean it. Do something this week that fills your cup and brings you joy. 2025 is going to be a great year. I wish you all the best and all the happiness and all the cross stitch. So until next time, see ya.